Look at that
Hey, we're
shit.
live. Hey, look at that. Welcome to the Generic Paranormal Show with KD and Austin. We didn't think we were going to make it on here tonight, and that was going to make me mad because if we couldn't, because the traffic was too high for StreamYard, I'm
Your
just going to keep
teeth.
doing this that I pay for. So while I'm ranting, Austin's
A miniature advertisement. We'll be
doing
right back
his
after these featured messages.
advertisements. Well, tonight we're going to talk about just exactly what how our show is titled. Look at that, we got Brandon's logo up here. Dadgummit. Keeps
Is
changing.
Brandon actually any part Native American?
Hmm.
He is.
Supposedly,
I'd like to see the DNA on that.
I want to see the DNA test, motherfucker.
DNA or it didn't happen.
I want receipts. Nah,
Receipts or it didn't happen. Yep. Get the receipts.
he says he is. I believe him.
All right.
I have no reason to not believe him.
Yeah.
So,
Anyways.
anyways,
Anywho,
so first question for you tonight, Austin.
Ooh, okay.
So I had a dream. Okay, and I
Okay.
had this dream last night,
Yeah.
and I didn't recall the dream until like after lunch today. You know how that happens, right? Like you doing whatever, and then you're like, oh shit, yeah, I dreamed this thing last night. Does that ever happen to you?
Nah.
Okay, well that happens to me sometimes. Like I forget my dream like as soon as I wake up, but then it comes to me throughout the day, or it could be like a couple days, whatever.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
so I had a dream, and it was about a cave. I didn't
Okay.
go in the cave, but I was like driving by the cave, and I believe I was with Katie, and I looked at Katie and I said, "Hey, look at that cave," and that's all I remember.
Okay.
So, what does that mean?
You want to go to a cave? You want to go spelunking?
Do you think it's that simple?
I don't think that means anything. Colleen's
Or
gonna
is,
tell
it,
you.
or is it like one of those the meaning things? No, what your dream means. You went to a cave.
Colleen's gonna tell you.
so
Off cam Colleen over here.
yeah, that's right. So caves can appear in dreams to encourage you to explore issues from your childhood, family, or previous generations of family.
There you go.
Okay.
Well, which is interesting because that is what you're trying to do with the Knox side of the family.
That's true. That is true. That is an
You're still
interesting.
you're still exploring those roots, buddy.
I am. As a matter of fact, I was just thinking about that earlier today. I was like running over some stuff in my head earlier today. So
Yep.
that's interesting. What
Yeah,
was
that
your
is
last
interesting.
dream? What was your last dream, Austin?
Austin doesn't have vivid dreams.
Austin, you don't dream? I mean, okay.
No,
Colleen,
everybody dreams. Everybody dreams every
Colleen, what
night.
does that
It's
mean?
whether
What does that mean if you don't dream? I think that means you don't have a soul. Right?
no, everybody dreams. It's just a matter.
I don't have a soul.
You don't dream either.
Okay.
No, I dream. Mine are very vivid.
Okay. Do you want to come over here and sit on the podcast?
I don't.
She can be off cam, Colleen. Let her do what she wants.
All right. Well,
Austin does dream. He talks in his sleep. He laughs in his sleep.
He just doesn't remember his dreams.
Right.
Nope.
Right.
I was gonna say that like there's a game. If you haven't heard about the name Fallout by now, then you've been hiding under a rock. But there's a game called Fallout, and in I believe it's Fallout 3, or no, it has to be Fallout 4, right?
maybe.
Talking about how they don't dream. No, it wasn't Fallout. It was something else.
Well,
It was
we're
another.
definitely not saying we don't dream. The thing is that every human on Earth dreams every single time they go into REM sleep. But the problem is they usually don't remember them because the brain is programmed to forget about it. Because most of your dreams are actually activated by fear and anxiety, and it can turn into a positive or a negative thing. And I've actually been watching a lot about this stuff, and like it can turn into a good dream or a nightmare. And a nightmare is when when your brain is not able to like put the right spin on it, I guess, or like to be able to cope with it or comprehend it in a way where it could be turned into a positive, um, just in that moment. And so but normally the nightmares are what your brain protects you from on a normal basis if you like when you dream. That's why like I don't remember my dreams, because clearly my brain is trying to tell me, like it's trying to keep me from seeing it or keep me from remembering it. But that's like a natural like it's a
Why do
natural
you
thing
think
that our brains do.
why do you think your brain would like your
It's
the way you said that?
subconscious, like it's kind of how people, the same
It's
way people
protecting
like
you from your
suppress.
dreams? Because I thought your dreams were supposed to be a way of like a lot of
Well,
times
it's different for everybody, because a lot of people can like a lot of people are able to be more aware in their dreams. Those are people that people that can remember their dreams typically are
they
ones
call
that
that
are,
lucid dreaming,
yeah, those are lucid dreamers, and those
become
are,
aware in your dream.
yeah,
Right?
but I'm not even talking about lucid dreaming more or less. It's more or less like some people are more, it's easier for some people to retain the information that they got while while they were sleeping, but the normal human mind is like the way that dreams work is that it starts with anxiety and fear, but it will like your brain can normally twist, like arrange it and turn it into a positive thing to help you like deal with that anxiety and fear. But sometimes it doesn't, it's sometimes it's like a weird thing, I don't know, like it doesn't give you the positive spin on it, and then that's when you actually just kind of see through the veil, and that's when you have the nightmare. But
Okay.
that's what I've
Okay.
been that's what I've been doing. I've been doing a lot of research on it lately, and it's really, I mean, and it's all obviously just like it's hard to study that necessarily.
Well, hold
You know what
that
I
thought.
mean?
Let's say hello to everybody in the chat here. Hello, Russell, Linda, Katie, Carol, Jonathan, Frenchie,
I hope Tracy's in here.
Airwaves. Tracy's in here. Tracy, Linda.
Tracy,
Let's
she made me
see.
this shirt, by the way.
Mike, yeah, I saw that. I was going to comment on that. Katie again, just in YouTube form. That's Barry, right? Dimension Devices.
Yeah, that's Barry.
Shout out to Dimension Devices, Barry.
The man.
Makes cool equipment. Check him out. Dreama. Who else we got here? Mike, already said hello to you. And James Brady. Hello. Okay. What's up, everybody?
What's up, everybody?
So apparently we're talking about dreams. I didn't really have a topic for tonight. We were just going to kind of wing it, but I've just kind of decided it's on the spur of the moment. We're going to talk about dreams.
Well,
So
real quick, anybody
okay,
watching, you can get 20% off at eVapor Hut. You go to the website and use discount code Ghost Vape. All one word, Ghost Vape. 20% off anything, and they can ship whatever across the United States, except for like 2 or 3 states, I think it's. Yeah, but check them out.
Anywhere.
Almost all 50 states.
Okay.
there you go. Check them out if you're interested in the vape products.
Or the various THC products.
The legal THC products. Right.
Uh-huh. THCA. It's actually THCA,
Right.
Delta 8, like the different stuff like that.
Legally mailed.
It can be legally shipped across. It's legal from the Farm Bill. But anyways.
Moving right along, now we're going to talk about the shirt here. Austin is the theoretical theorist. So Tracy Rizzo made the shirt for him. It's a very nice shirt. Theoretical theorist.
I know. Check that out. It's like,
I think it's cool.
I think it's sick, man. I fucking love it.
Yeah, I like it.
I like that shit.
Yeah, me too. Theoretical theorist. It's like
Yep.
no specialty. It's just I theorize about theories of everything. I like it. So
Or theoretically, I'm a theorist.
right, theoretically, you're
I'm a
you're a
theoretical
theorist.
theorist.
Right? Yes, you're theoretically a theorist.
It can be used a few different ways. It's kind of
It
interesting.
can be. It can
Funny.
be. Is that like a double entendre?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of. Might even be able to use it as a triple, but anyways,
Triple entendre. Wow, that's blowing my mind.
maybe you'd have to play with the words a bit, but yeah.
Interesting. Okay, moving right along to the dreams again. So I had a dream about a cave, and off cam Colleen over here has told us that she believes that, or no, that she read that represents a uh, trying to research your family roots or whatever, which is interesting because I have been doing that. I've been doing that for the past few years, still kind of actively doing it. So very interesting. And Austin apparently doesn't dream because he doesn't have a soul. There's a lot of people that say you don't
Just
dream
not
for whatever
hallucinating.
reason. Austin tries to say that he does dream, he just doesn't remember it. That's a likely story.
I actually like the
How
sound
would
of
you
this the
know?
first time. I like the
How
sound of
would
the
you
first
know if
one.
you actually dream or you don't remember it?
No, I don't. I don't remember my dreams. Every human on Earth dreams.
Well, just because you're talking while you're asleep
He
doesn't
does.
mean that you're dreaming, though.
Yes, it does.
He laughs a lot.
Surely don't. My cat talks. It sounds like he's talking, right? He makes
Well, it's not even
sounds
just.
like
It's not even
words,
just
but he's
humans.
not.
Every animal, every biological being that sleeps, whether that's cows, dogs, horses, freaking cats, freaking every animal dreams. Every living being dreams. And so it, like I was saying earlier, it's just a matter of like your brain, like, and that's like some real shit that's like researched and like put out on documentation. Like they actually perform these studies. And what I was saying earlier about the anxiety and the fear, like that's how your dreams are basically your brain trying to comprehend and fucking like it's trying to twist it and you portray it in a way in your mind so that it's a positive or not a negative experience. But
I think dreams can be a lot of things. I think they can be a product of a lot of different processes that are going on in your head. You know what I mean? Like for instance, like there's the kind of symbolic dream, right? That could be like a sort of I guess a message from your subconscious that's kind of telling you something, sort of like giving you like its opinion or like trying to lead you in a direction or whatever. Now, why it would do that in like a coded way where you have to decode your dreams, I don't know. I feel like if your subconscious was trying to speak to you through your dreams, that it would be a more direct way. But maybe we can get all philosophical on this and say that it's a way of your subconscious, like it can lead you to something, but it can't like make you believe something, right? Maybe so maybe you have to decode the dreams kind of on your own. I don't know, but that seems kind of counterintuitive, like if somebody wants to help you, they're not going to give you a riddle to help you and make you figure the riddle out, and if you can't figure the riddle out, then you're just screwed.
Yeah, I feel like it depends on what you're talking about, because like some people sometimes in certain fields, I'm sure a riddle, like if you look at and I know this is a stretch, but look at the Jedi from Star Wars, right? A lot of it is like Yoda speaks in a lot of riddles.
Totally legit scientific.
Just saying, bro. That is scientific. It's from a long time ago in a galaxy far away.
And
So we just
currently ruined, in a ruined state. Okay, so that's kind of one way that dreams, I guess you could say that we use dreams, or that dream, like it's a dream's purpose. But I don't
Well,
know.
I mean, really, like all the studies that I've been reading about are basically saying that it's dreams are not necessarily like premonitions or anything like that. Really,
But
it's
how do you know? How do you know that there's not a
that
premonition side
I mean,
to
that's
dream?
there could be,
I mean,
there
even
could
science
100% there
can't
could
really
be.
tell you. Yeah.
Well, right. And I think like when you go into a dream, we're actually entering more or less an astral state. But I'm just talking about what like neuropsychology or like neurologists and like people that are studying all this stuff. Like I'm just telling you what they're putting out there because they don't look at obviously they don't look at the astral
No,
side of
they
it
do
where
not.
like
No, they don't look at the kind of like
no. So what they're interpreting it as
spiritual
is
side
the
of dreams.
brain trying to interpret certain things that you've experienced throughout your day or that you're going through in your life and trying to like interpret it and portray it to you how like in a way that could be positive to help you cope with it most of the time. But then there's the occasional times, you know, like you said, that have or you have the nightmares where your brain is not able to just and it doesn't happen often, but like everybody has a nightmare every now and then, and it's just your brain unable to uh interpret and cope and like portray it in a way that it's not the nightmare that you would normally see. Like most people, like myself, like I don't remember my dreams, but simply because it's my brain's natural responses to like same way that people suppress like traumatic events. It's involuntary, like they can't remember certain things that may have happened to them in the past or whatever. Like I don't know why my brain protects me from my dreams. Like I don't know.
But
I don't know. It seems
is that what's actually going on here?
well.
Like,
That's what they say. I don't know if
but
it's that,
but
but
that
there's
would
so
be
many
like
aspects of what they say that are not being looked at.
right. Well, I mean, I would think that they would have to because I feel like it's situational. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's not going to be
Oh well, there are exceptions to the
the
rules,
reason
of
why you
course.
don't dream is not going to be the same reason why somebody else doesn't
Well, it's not. I'm not saying that I don't dream.
or
I'm
not
just
that
saying
you
I
don't
don't
dream, that
remember my dreams.
you can't recall your dreams, right?
Well, most people don't recall their dreams.
I think
I mean,
most people
there's.
recall a portion of their dreams. I feel like that's probably true.
I think it's a
Like,
smaller percentage than I think it's less than 50% of people can actually
really? You think
remember. I
so?
mean, occasionally,
I mean, even
occasionally I will remember a dream. Occasionally.
I don't always remember my dreams. Not
Right.
always.
Right.
But
And
like,
I think that's a normal thing though. Like sometimes people can remember their dreams, but it depends on like what the dream was about or something, you know. Um like I feel like that would play a factor. Like what
right.
was the dream about? If it was like a really good if it was a vivid dream, absolutely. Like sometimes I'm sure that
But you wouldn't know though because you don't remember your dreams.
the only way that you could look at it and actually even find out though is the when you look at when you do like your EEG and you can like
Yeah.
look at the waveforms of the delta and the theta waves and you can try to like this is where you go
You can
into
kind of see like patterns and stuff, right?
yeah it's a
But
to do an
that's
M
about it.
we would have to do like an MRI. You'd have to have like an MRI machine going while the person's
You're not gonna be
dreaming.
able to tell what they're dreaming about, and you're not gonna be able to tell like you're not gonna
Right.
know
Well,
like
right. You're gonna have to rely on what the person's saying, you know, like what they can recall. But you'd have to like do it right after they woke up. Like it'd be really hard. I agree with you.
so okay. So
It would definitely not be easy.
the more I think about this, the more complicated it gets. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So like we talk about when I dream, right? But in reality, there's not just one of you, like one personality of you that exists, right? You have different sides of yourself, right? And it takes all those sides to perceive a thing, right? Like you got your left
Yeah.
brain, your right brain, and there's people who have had like either a health condition, some sort of medical condition, or some sort of operation uh, on their brain that has caused their right brain and their left brain to be separate. And these people that have had this, they claim that it's like they're talking or like they're dealing with somebody else, not talking to them, but like they'll write something down, say on a piece of paper, right? And they'll come back to that piece of paper and be like, "Oh, that's really clever. Like, who wrote this?" And they realize they wrote it. But
Well, I think that's when you get into like
so like,
that,
but that means that what that means is that people that don't have that condition are they're both sides are normally working together, right? And it takes that, and it also takes like your whatever the like your frontal lobe as well to experience these dreams like reality, right? Like when you're in the dream, usually you can't tell you're in the dream. It seems real. It feels real. Everything seems real. Everything seems
isn't your
normal.
prefrontal cortex? Can you look that up for me?
What?
What prefrontal cortex? What does that
Well, that's
control?
what I'm saying. There's lots of different
Or
parts.
KD, you have a fucking computer. Look up what the prefrontal cortex does.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's what controlled like, um, it's like a big part of like the thought. It's like where I think it's. I don't want to speak about it until we know for sure. I don't want to keep.
Well, that's the personality. That's the person, and that's your frontal lobe, right?
Yeah, well, the frontal lobe is what is kind of like your filter. Like I had frontal lobe inhibition when I had my my cardiac arrest back in 2009. So like I could not control what I was saying. Like I mean, it was like basically any thought that came to my head, I would just speak out, and like I wouldn't know like what I should not say. So like it was like completely inappropriate as fuck. Like it just it's like a filter. It's like that. It's almost that conscious side.
I'm just gonna show you what I'm looking at here.
Okay.
And this is okay. So this is your frontal lobe right here. And
yeah.
Here. And then and it says one of the last places in the brain to mature, the prefrontal cortex, thought of as the personality center, and is the cortical region that makes us uniquely human. It is where we process moment to moment input from our surroundings. Compare that to input to past experiences and then react to them. So that
now look up how the prefrontal cortex affects dreams.
Now hold on a second. I gotta show you something else. All right, so there's that, and then here is what I was saying, the frontal lobe. And if you look, it's the same damn spot.
I think the frontal lobe looks like it's more generic. It's like a whole front side of it.
Dude, that is the exact highlighted spot of your brain. It's your frontal lobe. Like when they give you a lobotomy.
Well, right, but the prefrontal cortex.
What they do is they drive an ice pick through your eye
socket, right,
and they knock it. They separate the membrane that all the pathways that connect your frontal lobe to the rest of your brain, right?
Well, right, but what I'm saying is I think that the prefrontal cortex is just a specific part of the frontal lobe.
It probably is, but I'm just saying it's the same area. It's the same.
Oh yeah. The prefrontal cortex would be within the frontal lobe. Yeah.
And that's what I was saying earlier is that your frontal lobe also has something to do with your dreams, right? Because that's kind of what I wouldn't say
that whole area. Yeah.
I wouldn't say that's what makes your personality, but it's definitely the part of your brain that helps develop your personality. And
it's how you process experiences and how you process interaction and your social day. So like that does kind of but dreaming is part of that processing. Like
now,
that's what
right now, right. So that's what I was saying. There's lots of different parts of your brain that are part of this dreaming process. I feel like, and they may not all fire up like during tests. But I have to assume that they all play a part in it because it takes all of those parts of your brain to actually experience. She says, Tracy says the temporal lobe, right? And that's what I'm saying. The temporal lobe is also a spot that plays a part in your dreams, but it takes all the parts of your brains to have an experience, right? Like
Oh
to
yeah.
experience something and to like as you would normally, right? And
Right.
that in
Right.
a dream, you do that a lot of times. I have
Mhm.
sometimes I have the most normal dreams, like just like
Oh yeah.
it's hard. It would be hard to like if you were to remember that. Yeah, I've had dreams where it's like, did I dream that or did that actually happen?
Mhm.
Because it's not like a wild thing, right? It's like a normal everyday
Right.
thing, but it
Right.
didn't actually happen. So I feel like all the parts of the brain. Now the temporal lobe may be the most excited part of the brain. Whenever that's what I was saying. Like you could do tests to see which part of your brain fires up more, and I do believe it's the temporal lobe, and
Mhm.
that's also a reason. I'm glad you brought that up, Tracy. It's also a reason that the ghost helmet or the God helmet originally was created was to kind of impact. That's the part of the brain that they were aiming for is the temporal lobe because they believed that it was part like those your spiritual um, part of your brain, right? That would make you have what you would believe to be a spiritual experience. So it would make sense for that all those things kind of line up and go together. And dreams are, in my opinion, like opinions on dreams are outside of like, oh, it's just you're digesting food or your brain's just
Right.
resting. This is just exhaust from your brain resting or whatever, or clutter from your day or whatever. Something you're worried about is like, just repeating in your head, kind of like a tape stuck on a loop or something while you're asleep. But and it could be, but I think it's probably more than that. It seems very purposeful in its um in its existence, right? Like why else would we have dreams if it were just like exhaust from our bodies at the end of the day or whatever, our brain just cooling off, right? And it just creates these real experiences that a lot of times people will wake up emotional or whatever because the dream has an emotional impact on them. So
Mhm.
I don't think it's just like a scientific thing that you can just explain away super easily. I think there probably is a part of dreaming that you can explain scientifically, but I don't think you can. I think what I was saying earlier, I think a lot of dreams have a lot of different, or dreams have several different purposes, and it could be a lot. It could be more than I can think of, but one would be, probably that scientific explanation is just like clutter from our day, and it's just kind of our brain trying to make sense of it, or prepare us to deal with more of that in the future. Um, in which case you can kind of look at what they call genetic memory.
Yeah,
And
that's a different. It's
no,
a
not
different
really.
topic.
Not really, though. Not really, because it affects your dreams.
Genetic memory.
Yes, genetic memory can affect your dreams. Because okay, they did a scientific study, and I had to look it up again to find you the exact study, which I probably won't because I'll probably forget. But you can look it up for yourself and look up. There's a study done about children and they or dreams, children and dreaming, and they found that a large percentage of younger kids, not toddlers, but like five, I think it was 5 to 6 range, that they would dream about wolves, even if they'd never seen a wolf, didn't really know what a wolf was, they could explain being chased by wolves in their dreams. And a lot of people believe that this is due to their brain. Like that's one process of your brain is that it can prepare you for things that you're going to have to deal with in life, like dangers, like back in the. And so that gets into the genetic memory thing, right? Even though these kids had never experienced a wolf, never knew the true fear of a wolf to have nightmares about it, right? That they were actually maybe having a dream that was about a danger that affected humans a long time ago, right? So, like for probably thousands of years, humans, were prey to wolves, they would be hunted, like at night, you'd be hunted by wolf packs. And I feel like wolves were a big enough deal at some point in human history to
Mhm.
where our brains kind of programmed themselves, and it became so like common that it became genetic, and it's passed down, um,
Yeah.
you know, to future generations.
Yeah. I can see that.
But that could be Tracy. But I feel like the more, for me anyway, the more logical explanation is that, and the more fascinating explanation actually, is that um, wolves are something that we had to deal with as a culture that existed thousands, possibly millions of years ago, right? If you buy into evolution or whatever.
Oh, the Younger
So
Gaius theory.
right, yeah. So
Oh, the
yeah,
Younger
or if
Gaius
we were
impact theory.
if
Sorry.
we were a culture that went back even further, right? So like if there was if the human species had been here for even longer than we thought, and that you know there was some prehistoric time, like well before what we believe, you know, is the case nowadays. What if human like civilization went back 100, 200,000 years? But anyway, now we're getting kind of off the beaten trail here. So then there's other purposes for dreams as well. There's that scientific explanation where it's just our body resting and making sense of the things that we deal with during the day, or like
Well,
is
not necessarily, man. I think you're
there
like kind of.
premonition?
I think you're kind of misinterpreting that a little bit. I
No,
don't.
I don't think so. I think that could be a part of our dreaming, of our dreams. What else would it be?
Well, when you talk about, there's
You have a
very.
normal dream, like
All
I
right.
got a dream that I got up, I overslept and I went to work late. That's not something that is out of the realm of impossibility to happen.
No, but so one of the things that obviously there are people that there are dreams that many people seem to have. It seems like a generic kind of dream, and they mean, but you notice that dreams often mean certain things, and everybody looks for meaning in their dreams. But it's because there is meaning in your dreams. A lot of it, if you do remember your dreams, if you can remember them, then that's because your brain is trying to tell you something, and specifically like that cave thing. It's portraying what you're anxious about, or what you're like, it's your brain comprehending and portraying it to you, and you are remembering it because it's your brain trying to tell you that that there's
I
something
think
that
that's
you need to be doing.
I think that is one way that dreams, one like
Right.
source of our dream, sure, but I think there's
But I
other
think it's
explanations.
also a doorway into an astral realm of existence too.
Could be,
So
could
like that's
be.
where astral travel and lucid dreaming and all that come in.
Now we're getting into now you're getting into kind of a, well, not necessarily lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming is just when people are become aware of what they're doing in their dream, and the way it's explained to me, although I don't remember ever doing that. But then again, what if you just don't remember having a lucid dream? I mean, a lucid dream seems like a vivid dream, but are they
Oh,
the
it
same
is.
thing?
The lucid dream, if you were lucid dreaming, you would remember.
Like I've
Like
had dreams
otherwise,
about
it's not a lucid dream.
I've had dreams about jumping, right? So I'm like running
Yeah, that's
along,
a common one. Like you're
jumping.
falling.
No, not falling, not yet. I'm running, but then I jump, and I jump normally, and it's like a normal distance down, and then I jump again. It's a little bit higher, normal distance down, and then I jump again, and as I'm running, I'm just running along, jumping, and then it gets higher and higher and higher, and then you realize, damn, I'm jumping really high, and you kind of get worried when you're coming down, but then you come down and you realize, oh, I can just keep jumping. I don't know if that would be considered a lucid dream.
Well, if you can
Uh,
remember it, I guess lucid dreaming is like you can interact with your dreams, right?
right, and that's
Um,
kind of what I was doing. And that's kind of what I
yeah,
was
so
doing.
that is a lucid dream. Yes. Now, astral travel, astral projection, is basically where you can go to other places and you can control where you're going.
Right,
And
right.
other places could just be another
That's kind of a metaphysical
another point in your
side.
bedroom or something. Like it could literally be just downstairs in your house, anywhere where you have an out of body kind of dream where you can see yourself.
Sure.
Like a lot of people will say that they see themselves. You know what I mean? And like then they go somewhere. And like this is all what JW and I are doing with the IDC Institute is like doing that, like artificially induced astral projection type of deal. And so like we're doing like the controlled as we could possibly get it. It's got like exit interviews is what we're calling them. They're trying to like they're being fed specific frequencies, stuff like that. So like that so the astral, but like there's also an astral realm that's like yeah, when you astral travel, even if you go downstairs, but and so like what JW and I are trying to do is the like where we go to a haunted location and set all this experiment up and see if they can basically investigate the location from the other side. If that makes sense.
That's kind of what the helmet's for too. Is
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah,
So
the helmet is
taking taking the God helmet experiment and applying it to a.
well. The
a
difference
haunted
is
place.
using
I
the
know there's
difference
a
is
difference.
that
Saying it's similar in that you're using that in a haunted place to see if that can be effective, and that's the way it's similar. And there's
yeah. I mean
yeah,
but like because like the whole idea really is
good
that we
idea.
want to be able to investigate the other side instead of
Well,
just using it. But there's so much more we got to do with it, like trying to like some of the stuff we're going to be looking at with the next one is it possible to interact with the physical world or to be able to observe the physical world in real time while you're doing it? And we have the EEG machines, we have all this stuff, so like we're really like we're gonna see where it goes. We're just trying to get more in depth every time, but it's all using audio frequencies, and that's it.
Yeah, I would have to like for astral projection. I mean, I know that
It's a crazy fucking topic.
you could say that's definitely what they're doing with remote viewing, right? When you're remote viewing.
Well, yeah, the Monroe Institute and that the hemisync was what they were trying to do, was the process of hemisync, which would then be able to. But like, but the hemisync is only like it's maybe like 30% of what the experiments that JW and I do. It's really all him.
Hemisync, actually, I think that might have actually.
That's a big aspect. It's a big aspect.
That might have come actually from Michael Persinger also, because that's technically what they were doing with the
they're attempting to do. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but like once you get into, so that's only like the beginning part, because once you get into that state, is where we're trying, like just getting to that state is just the first part of what the experiment is, because then they have like soundproof headphones on that are feeding them
two separate experiments.
Well,
I think one would be getting to the astral plane, and two would be using the astral plane.
Yeah, and so that's kind of how it is. Like the first part of the experiment is getting.
Well, aren't there already people who that would be called?
The Monroe Institute was doing it.
Well, but I'm saying that even before,
but not not the way that JW is doing it.
Even before the Monroe Institute, you have the Akashic.
The Nazis, yeah, you had the Akashic
record, right? And so that's something that you're supposed to be able to access.
Yep, and so here's the interesting part of this, though, is that there are aspects of this experiment that come from the ancient Sumerians, the ancient Babylonians, the Nazis, because the Nazis were looking at a lot of this stuff too. Then the Monroe Institute, and then the CIA took it from them. But yeah, now but he's kind of combining it all together using like numerology and the sidereal clock. Like there's a lot of different aspects of it that kind of play into it, and especially when it comes to like choosing the people that are going to be involved in the experiment, like who's going to actually be a participant. Like you actually have to fit into the mathematics or whatever. So it's really in depth and crazy, dude. And like that's what I love this topic.
Yeah, any scientific, any experiment that you do that you want to keep scientific, is going to be super in depth if you're trying to
Oh
stay
yeah.
with the scientific method.
I mean, we're recording from like fucking 20 something cameras in every angle. We got audio from all over the place. Not only being fed in, well, it's actually being fed out to speakers, and then microphones are picking it up, bringing it back in. So you're looping the audio like that.
Sure.
And then you got
recording every aspect of a
EEG machines that measure all of your brainwave activity.
Well, it's important to have all that data if you do an actual scientific study by the book. And the reason why it's important is not just so you can prove your findings, but because all you can really do is put out your findings, right? You put out your findings, you put them out there, and then the reason for doing that is to have is so that other scientists can bump up against your experiment and try and replicate it, so that your results can be replicated. Because
it has to go through the scientific scrutiny process. And if
to be published, sure, to be published.
But that's where the peer, like you said, the peer review comes in. Is that like it has to be scrutinized, like people. And when you say scrutiny, that doesn't necessarily mean criticize. It just means putting it to the test and seeing if what you're saying is true. Like that's really
trying your experiment to see if they can get the same results as what you got.
Exactly. And so like the data points that we're collecting.
It's also for it is for scrutiny and it is for criticism, because they'll go through and they'll tell you what
we need to do. Well, exactly. What we're missing.
What you're missing. Exactly. Did you overlook like a control or a variable or a way to keep everything?
Exactly. And that's important. And so that's why, like, we only, even with the documentary that we filmed with the Wraith Chasers, we tried to record as much as we could, like data wise, but there was still a lot like that we know we're missing. And so this next time coming up, we're hoping to even get like some form of way to measure environmental data at the same time. Try to see how it might affect the surrounding. But we're also, one thing we're looking at too, and I mean, I'm not gonna, there's gonna be some quantum physics elements of this too that I'm gonna be that we're gonna be looking at. I don't want to say what yet, because if anybody's watching that ends up being a participant or whatever, like I don't want them to know about it. And JW told, and I agree with him. We shouldn't divulge certain information.
No, you're not supposed to. You should.
It's got to stay controlled. But yeah, I mean,
otherwise people will come in with a predisposition to what.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And so, yeah, I mean, but like we're continuously trying to figure out ways, like how do we progress? How do we push it to the next level each and every time? So this time, we're looking at this time we're actually going to be doing it at the Oglays Village. So like, it's going to be fucking massive experiment. Holy shit. He said something about like 1.something million square feet of wire that he's going to need.
That's a lot of wire.
Dude, but you know how big the village is, dude. Holy, yeah, that's like 30 acres, bro.
So there is that metaphysical side of dreams, and that's why I say that dreams have a lot of purposes.
Colleen has a off-screen Colleen.
Let's hear what you got off-screen, Colleen.
Okay, so what would you call a dreamer that can pick up where you left off? Because I am that dreamer. I can do that. I can pick up where I left off.
So basically, you can start. It's almost like a book.
Yeah.
It's almost like you have a bookmark by the time you wake up.
Or a movie, or a TV show. Like you watch one episode and then you move on.
Yeah.
To the next.
I am that kind of dreamer. I can do that.
Or you fall asleep in the middle of a movie and you pause it, and then
that may be like a. I don't know for sure. I don't want to like look it up, right? I want to.
That's interesting.
I want to display my ignorance. So I'm gonna say that is a
whip it out.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say that's kind of a form of lucid dreaming.
I'm a very lucid dreamer.
I mean, that's like an advanced. That seems like an advanced form of lucid dreaming because, like,
I don't know.
that seems like
I've never actually heard of that. Now I have
right.
I have had similar dreams, but I wasn't lucid dreaming when I had these dreams. Like
Right.
I'll share one of the things that I dream about the most, and it's zombies. I'm not like afraid. I don't have like zombie phobia, whatever the hell that is. It's probably a word for it. It's probably like necrophobia or something. But
Fear of the dead. Yeah,
fear of the
probably.
but like so I don't have like a phobia of zombies. I probably did when I was younger. Okay, so like when I was younger, I probably did have some kind of weird phobia of zombies because I definitely and I feel like my sister brought that on because she used to make me listen to Michael Jackson's Thriller cassette tape when we were kids. She would put it on, and I remember when we would stay with my grandma, she would put it on. Like we had bunk beds. We shared a room for a lot of my young portion of life. So so she would put that tape in, and it would scare the daylights out of me, man. And I would have these terrible zombie dreams, and it was always like the end, or like, but one dream would be like where they're chasing me, like where they're chasing and they're closed in on. But then the next dream would be like the second part of that video, right? Or the last part of the video where they're in the house and they all bust in on them and they just close in on them and it's like that's it,
I'm curious. Right before you guys wake up, do you see like a to be continued ...
No. That would be cool. That would be nice, so you would know that there's gonna be on a cliffhanger.
Brain's just letting you know, hey. Yeah, so you got part 2 coming later.
They don't even do that with TV shows anymore, man.
Stay tuned for part 2.
I mean, but dreaming of zombies, for you,
that's gotta mean something.
I mean, it's like negative. It can mean a lot of things. So it can mean like negative attachments or feeling overwhelmed, escaping unwanted people,
running away
from problems.
Yeah, I was thinking running away from something.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe not problems. It could be problems. Could be, sure.
Things that you're anxious about or fearful about.
It has like anxiety and everything like that. So it can mean like a lot of things. You just have to really look at the specific thing that you're dreaming about.
Yeah, see, now that brings up another point though. Like, there's always those common dreams that people have: being chased, falling. Like, how many times have you woken up out of a light sleep where you just felt like you're falling off a cliff and just like startle up, right?
Yeah, but it's always something weird. Like, it's something when that happens, I usually remember what I was doing and like as I was starting to dream and jerk myself back awake. And it's usually something stupid that I don't even do, that I never do, like, or never have done, like riding on a skateboard. I had a dream that I was riding on a skateboard. I've had a skateboard when I was a kid. I had one of those big old 80s skateboards, like with
the one side, just the one wave on the back.
Yeah, and the rest of it was flat. And it's huge. I had one of those, but that was like, it was brief. And
but I was gonna say though that like I feel like the common dreams, like we all seem to have the same kind of common dreams, like being chased, falling, something terrible happening or whatever. But like everybody interprets it, and
you see everybody else having those common dreams, but you don't know what you dream about.
Oh, I definitely have had those kinds of dreams where I'm jerking awake by something terrifying, and I'm like, but those I remember too. Like one dream I remember I've had even since I was a little kid was like hiding from a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I don't know why, but like that has been one of like what has been a nightmare that I've had since I was a kid. And I'm not even like, I don't even care about, I mean, dinosaurs are awesome. They're definitely fucking cool as shit. I don't know why I would be right, but that's what I'm saying is like I'm hiding. I'm trying to get away from something. Like that's just my form of it, where your form of it would be like zombies.
Right.
Like I think that's kind of what it is. Like people will have these common dreams, but it's because of the fears and the anxieties that they get. But it's their brain will show it to you specifically in your own way because of what you've experienced in your life. Now, however, I don't understand the T-Rex thing because I've never like I've seen Sue at the Museum of Natural History in Chicago, the most complete T-Rex skeleton in the world.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, you know what I mean? Like it's just I think that they all have those like specific things that your brains are naturally trying to comprehend.
It indicates a fear of the unknown or a sense of vulnerability.
Yep. So fear of the unknown or a sense of vulnerability. And this is where people really do like you interpret your dreams that way. Like that's how people do it, is because it's actually like showing that everybody has these fears. Like dogs frequently, one of their biggest things is getting chased. Like they're either chasing or getting chased.
My point is that you would think that if that was like if it was a purposeful dream,
your brain can give you purposeful dreams, though.
Right.
Like it'll tell you certain things, right?
I'm just saying, like if it is a purposeful dream and it's meant to help you in some way,
yeah.
And why wouldn't it be a more direct thing? Why is it so vague? Right? Because to say that that dream means that you're running from something, right? Okay.
Well, it means more fear.
What am I running from? Like, everybody runs from something. Everybody runs from something.
But that's for you to figure out. That's for each of us to figure out.
But if my brain wants me to figure this out, it should go a little easier on me and just show me what I'm running from. And as a matter of fact, show me what the hell to do about it.
Well, see, that's the crazy thing about our brains is that the brains are not there.
Hey, you should do that. But if you don't tell me what I should do instead, then I'm not going to know what I should do. It's like I shouldn't do this way, but how should I do it?
Well, the brains are very. That's why,
I know I'm gonna have to run from a zombie. I don't need my brain to tell me that if a horde of zombies is chasing me, that I need to run.
Well,
so
you also play a lot of games too that feature zombies, don't you?
I do play a few games that feature zombies. I don't play like really. I mean,
do you like zombie? Do you like zombie shit?
I've seen probably every zombie movie there is.
So then that would be something that your brain would interpret those fears as and like show it to you. But your brain is not there to help you, man. The brain is there to trick you. Your brain is there to trick you, dude. Everything that we even see is not. What?
That's not helpful at all.
No, it's not helpful. That's why you have to be smart enough.
To trick you? I don't believe your brain is sole purpose is to trick you.
No, it's not sole purpose, but its
sole purpose is to help you make sense of your surrounding environment.
Yeah, but the thing that now we're starting to now we can get into there's such thing as a shared reality versus individual realities.
But I'm not talking about shared reality. I'm talking about your reality is what your brain delivers to you
in its own way based on
perception. Right. I'm not talking about everybody as a whole. I'm talking about individually, each person.
Yeah.
The brain delivers to them like what it perceives as reality.
Well, you as an awareness. Well, think about this though. You know what I mean? Your brain is creating these dreams, but also when you wake up, your brain is telling you, how do I interpret this? So technically, your brain is doing both sides of it, bro.
I mean, it depends on how you look at it. No, it really does. It depends on how you look at it because
if you if your brain is thinking, if you are able to have a thought about what your dream means, then that is your brain telling you, go figure out what this means. I mean, tell me that I'm wrong.
I mean, I think it's saying, hey, here's some information. Figure it out.
Even the fact that even the intuition or the
figure it out. It's not like giving you. It's like because most times, even
but it's intriguing you enough and motivating you
beyond the day that I had it or whatever.
Or right.
Within a week.
But the fact that your brain is like your conscious self is your brain interpreting the world in live action, of course. And so when your brain is telling you that, it's telling you all this information and you have to interpret it and you want to interpret it, that is your brain saying, here's the information, go interpret it. But that's your brain, because you operate based on your brain.
I think I agree with it's for a purpose. Like it's giving you this information for a reason.
But there's obviously some exceptions where it can foretell things, right?
I don't know what the reason is, because like if like most people cannot interpret their dreams.
Right. Most people don't remember their dreams.
So I don't believe that it's a purposeful, like, okay, so maybe it is purposeful, but it's I don't believe it's something that your brain, like, it definitely doesn't want you to easily figure it out. So does that mean that it's just flat, is glimpses of wisdom that you have, like, unintentionally, and that you can figure out? But I don't think your subconscious is giving it to you. I think you're seeing it. You're seeing what's going on in your brain. You're seeing these things, right? And you're taking with you kind of is there a medium between your brain, like your subconscious and your conscious, I guess would be is there like some kind of mediator that goes back and forth, right? Or is there a point during sleep or some other time when your conscious and subconscious kind of share the same space? I think that would be that's an interesting thing, right? Whether or not the delivery of your dreams is purposeful.
I think that they relate. Like, I believe that your conscious will influence your subconscious. Obviously, the subconscious, it kind of takes in all of what the conscious information is and then makes its own kind of little thoughts and judgments about things. Like, that's why your subconscious, everybody's subconscious is incredibly judgmental and fucking precious. That's just how everybody's subconscious is wired. But like,
sure, because it doesn't have to be,
but it can affect your conscious if you but that's like everybody's like right and wrong. Like, those are your subconscious. That's your like the little angel and the devil on your shoulder. That's your subconscious. And all those little things that you think in the back of your mind while you're doing certain things, right? So I mean, I think they definitely can. I mean, the conscious definitely influences the subconscious, and the subconscious certainly can have an effect on the conscious. But I think that varies from dependent on person to person, because some people don't have that subconscious, like, fucking telling them not to kill somebody or not to rob, you know what I mean? Like, there's that line, like Ted Bundy type shit. Like, he didn't have that subconscious telling him.
I think that's your conscious, though, right?
Well, but your conscious
daily what to do.
Yes, but we call it the subconscious.
No, not really. Your subconscious is something that you don't really interact with daily, like during your awake time, right? You don't.
It's basically your subconscious is just based on what you've learned and your, like, internal spidey sense, so to speak. It's like you can tell when a situation's kind of fucked up, or when you need to get out of a certain thing, or like that's your subconscious in your head. That's the alarms blaring, or the like things that you recognize.
Your conscious and consciousness are two different things. That's a high thought, but anyway, so go ahead and plug your stuff, because we gotta cut this off.
Oh yeah, next time, guys.
We're going for 58 minutes. Change.
So shit, hell yeah, we actually got it right this time. All right, well, one last time, guys. evaporhut.com. Use discount code GHOSTVAPE at checkout to get 20% off of anything online.
Absolutely anything.
Yep, and also make sure you check out all of the different equipment built by this guy right here, and this guy right here. Yeah.
If you're on here, you're probably seeing it already. You probably know what I do, and you probably see my stuff. So everybody share, like, subscribe, all that stuff. and then tell everybody else about the show. So hopefully next week we'll have an even bigger audience. We had a decent sized audience for tonight. It hit 15 people at one point.
Ooh.
We had 15
Well, next week,
viewers at one time.
who do we got next week there, KD?
Oh, we have Mr. I almost said Bruce Campbell. But
Well,
it's
who is our second official guest?
dude, if we can ever get Bruce Campbell on, that would be so freaking awesome.
Bruce Halliday.
Yes, it's Bruce Halliday. It's not Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell's 2 months from now.
We're not that cool. We're not that cool.
Yeah, we're not that cool. So we will have Bruce Halliday on, and Bruce Halliday is a ITC person, and he has done a lot of work in ghost box usage. He does a lot of ITC sessions. He posts a lot of them to our page and for your viewing. So we'll be talking to him about his infinite ITC wisdom. He's old school ITC ghost box dude. So so y'all make sure you tune in. I know most of y'all will, especially the 5 of you that remain. You're all great, and we love you. Austin, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Okay, bye y'all. Good night.